In the small, forgotten town of Hollowbrook, nestled deep within the dense woods of the Appalachian Mountains, there was an old, decrepit church. Its rotting wooden facade loomed ominously, casting long shadows even during the brightest of days. The townsfolk avoided it like the plague, whispering tales of the sinister pastor who had once presided over its congregation. The town had long been plagued by darkness, both literal and metaphorical. The residents lived in perpetual fear, for the woods that encircled Hollowbrook seemed to devour anyone who dared enter, and the church, known as the Chapel of Desolation, was at the heart of their unease. Decades had passed since the church had seen a congregation, and the pastor who had once preached within its unholy walls had disappeared mysteriously, leaving behind only cryptic writings in a journal that spoke of horrors beyond imagination. The journal had been locked away in the town's archives, but the stories it contained had been passed down through generations. Ethan, a curious young man with an insatiable appetite for the unexplained, had heard whispers of the Chapel of Desolation since he was a child. The stories fascinated him, and the inexplicable pull of the abandoned church grew stronger with each passing year. Determined to unravel its secrets, he decided to embark on a journey that would forever change his life. One gloomy autumn afternoon, Ethan gathered his courage and set out for Hollowbrook. The winding road leading to the town seemed to go on endlessly, and the oppressive atmosphere weighed on him as he ventured deeper into the woods. The trees, gnarled and twisted, whispered secrets that the wind carried away. As he reached the town, the few remaining residents regarded him with trepidation. They warned him not to venture into the woods or approach the Chapel of Desolation. But Ethan was resolute, his determination fueled by an insatiable curiosity. His first stop was the town archives, a dusty, dimly lit room filled with forgotten records and ancient books. With trembling hands, he unlocked the vault containing the pastor's journal. The pages were brittle and yellowed, filled with ramblings about rituals and other worldly beings. The journal spoke of a hidden passage beneath the church, a gateway to a realm of unspeakable horror. It described the pastor's obsession with summoning an ancient entity known as the Shadow Devourer, a creature that hungered for souls and promised great power in return. The pastor's journal ended abruptly, leaving Ethan with more questions than answers. Undeterred, he made his way to the Chapel of Desolation. The church, a grotesque amalgamation of decay and malevolence, stood before him like a sentinel of the abyss. The air grew colder as he crossed the threshold, and the unsettling silence was broken only by the creaking of the old wooden floorboards beneath his feet. Ethan's flashlight revealed a dilapidated interior, with pews covered in dust and cobwebs. Strange symbols adorned the walls, and an eerie greenish light seeped through cracked stained glass windows. It was as if the very walls of the church pulsed with a sinister energy. As he descended into the church's basement, he discovered the hidden passage described in the journal. The air grew thick with dread as he stepped into the dark, winding tunnel. His footsteps echoed ominously, and he could hear distant, otherworldly whispers that sent shivers down his spine. The passage led him deeper into the earth, and he soon found himself in a cavernous chamber illuminated by a ghastly, bluish glow. In the center of the chamber stood a grotesque altar, adorned with ancient symbols and surrounded by candles that burned with an otherworldly fire. Ethan's heart pounded in his chest as he realized the truth. The pastor's obsession with the Shadow Devourer had not been in vain. The entity, a swirling mass of darkness with glowing crimson eyes, materialized before him. Its presence was overwhelming, suffocating, and it hungered for his very soul. In a desperate attempt to escape, Ethan recited an incantation he had found in the pastor's journal. The chamber quaked, and the Shadow Devourer let out an ear-piercing shriek as it was banished back to the depths of the abyss. Ethan stumbled out of the cavern, gasping for breath and covered in cold sweat. He had narrowly escaped the clutches of the ancient evil that had plagued Hollowbrook for generations. As he emerged from the chapel, he knew that he had uncovered a truth that was better left buried. Ethan returned to the town, his mind haunted by the horrors he had witnessed. He shared his story with the few remaining residents, hoping to put an end to the darkness that had plagued Hollowbrook for so long. But the town, it seemed, was doomed to forever bear the weight of its sinister past. The Chapel of Desolation remained abandoned, a cursed relic of a bygone era, and the whispers of the pastor's malevolent obsession continued to echo through the woods, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lurked in the heart of Hollowbrook. Ethan had escaped with his life, but the darkness of the town's history would forever haunt his dreams.